Check. Testing one. Testing one. This is here. Okay, and hey everybody, and welcome to podcast number 1. It's kind of been a long time coming, something that I've been kind of wanting to do for kind of a long time. Let's see here. I like to call my little world the Nevahdren. It's not that hard to figure out, but I'll leave it to you guys to try and do that. And my handle, I give myself a handle. I use it for like gaming. Not that I'm a super gamer or anything, but I do like having a handle, which is Rec 113. And again, welcome. And why am I doing this? Well, probably one of the bigger reasons is it's therapeutic. Is probably one of the biggest reasons. I did stuff, dabbled in stuff on YouTube. Played. I got into like the gameplay and kind of more watching gameplay on YouTube. I got addicted. I fell down rabbit holes, and next thing I know, I was watching gameplays of The Last of Us. And before I knew it, I started watching all the gameplays. And when I ran out of the American English versions, I started watching like German and Spanish and just kind of just to get my fix of gameplay. That's kind of a game that kind of ruined it for me. I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it was a game that changed. I won't say changed my life. It's kind of a bit much, but it kind of ruined me for with other games. Because it was like playing a story. It was like playing a movie, and now I kind of expect that out of video games. And if it's not a great story, it's like that could be a fun game. No, it's not so bad. But if it's going to be a good game, it almost has to be at that level of storytelling, and it's this combination of it's almost like being in a movie and kind of being a fly on the wall and kind of participating a little bit as as you control the characters and things. But anyway, let me get back on track. So I would do that, and it kept me sane. Why was I going insane? Well, not to be a downer or bring things down, but I was, I mean, I'm sure this will come out in other episodes, because I really plan on sticking with this. In other. I was in the bike messenger world for quite some time. I was myself a bicycle messenger, like old school, like started in the 90s and things like that. And yeah, then after years of that, me and my friends started our own, which was amazing, and probably one of the best things I ever did. And then that went on for a good long while, and then a few years ago, my father passed away, and work kind of wasn't the same. I just kind of had that made me feel my mortality, and you know, I kind of had, you know, my own little dream of opening up my own little thing, and anyway, I hold on, sip of coffee here. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm trying to keep any editing and things to a minimum. So I'm trying to talk straight through, and so there may be quite a lot of ums. There may be a lot of you know, I guess bloopers, things that I don't, you know, try to start over or stutter, or trying to keep this kind of raw and real, that I'm actually having this kind of conversation with you. Yeah, so this is what kind of drew me to a certain podcast that you know, it was very conversational. But I'll get to that in moments. I'm trying to keep on a straight line here. Where was I? Yes, it was a father had passed away, and it kind of made me feel this mortality. And I didn't, you know, going back to the messenger business, because I wasn't just biking. I was, you know, involved in other aspects of it, and sometimes the office stuff was, you know, starting to get to me and things like that. And so this dream that I had before that was going to be my own little kind of bar, kind of a creative artist gallery / you know, bar hangout kind of thing. And you know, it was always just in the back of my mind, like, oh, if I ever retired from the bike messenger game, that this is what I was going to do. And then when my father passed, it was like, oh, I better go for it, or I'm going to lose my chance, I'm going to lose my opportunity, and I'll be too old to take such a risk, or, you know, take such a leap. So you know, it just got in my head that that's what I was going to do. And so anyway, it didn't quite go as planned. Yeah, I was stubborn about it, trying to, you know, put a lot of money into it, put a lot of things behind it. Wasn't as easy as I thought. I mean, not that I thought it was easy to begin with. It was something that yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be difficult. But as it just kept on going and going, it was just draining the life out of me, and put a strain on. It really put a strain. So I kind of decided to go back into this kind of trying to bring out go back to that creative side of me that I had, because yeah, with this is hold on, okay, this is one of those times where it's, hey, time out. I'm kind of losing my words here, so let me bring it back a little bit. I kind of dove into it heart first, overhead. My heart was all fully into it, until, you know, I was trying to get certain licenses, and I was like, oh, I can't have this because, you know, if I want to have any liquor, you need this, and this costs this much. You're not zoned for this. You're not zoned for that. And then after putting in a lot of money into trying to fix a place up, renting a space and trying to fix it up, that I'd save money and try to do it on my own, which, as creative as I am, I may not exactly be the best artist myself, carpenter, etc. So I tried to put something together, and you know what it was like? It's like being a kid and having this idea in your head, like, oh, I'm gonna draw this superhero, or I'm gonna draw this dragon, or I'm gonna draw, some monster or something. And you have this picture in your head. Yeah, you think about everything that you have to do to get that picture drawn down on paper by your hand. And then you start drawing, you're at it for a while, erasing here, erasing there, trying to shade this and that. And then you look down and it looks like shit. You got stick figures, or it looks like, I'm right-handed and it looks like you drew something with your left hand, Yeah, that's kind of what it was like. I had this vision in my head of the colors that I would paint the place, and the furniture that I wanted, and putting it all together. This was too big over here, and that was, too big over there. Or it turns out you could only fit so many people in this area if you have such a big table, and not gonna lie, it got frustrating. And it got to a point where it was making me depressed. It was hurting my the people in my life, especially the most important. And it got to the point where it's like, you know what, this is not going as planned. This ain't working. Do I continue and be miserable, or do I say that I tried and now it's not working and I'm failing at it? Is it time to just cut your losses and try to get back on track and just have a enjoyable, happy life? Excuse me, sorry about that. I may edit the cough there, so I may be editing that part off. I might do a little dub there. I thought about it and was like, this is not coming together like I thought. I could fool myself and continue with it and be penniless, or cut my losses and start my way back onto righting the ship that is life. And it was a good choice. No, you know how people say that, you're like, oh, I did that and failed and no regrets and all that stuff. I regret it. And it's okay. It's not like, it's I'm not weepy about it, like, oh, I regret. I am super happy that I tried. I at least tried something. And it just didn't go as planned. And I regret that I had to, pour so much of my money into it, and and I regret putting burdens on other people, and I definitely regret those. I wish I could take that back. I wish maybe I would have thought about it a little more. I maybe that I hadn't done it, but I know that I did do it, and there's nothing wrong, I think, with regrets, as long as you don't let it consume you and take over your life and just think about it so often. Oh, the regrets I have, because there's nothing you can do about that. That's all back in the past. There, it's all done. So yeah, the only thing is, you can think back on it. You can kind of regret it a little bit and kind of, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, or oh, I could have done that instead, or hey, this and that. But what can you do? Do I regret it? Sure, of course I do. Do I wish that I never tried? There's a part of me that wishes, maybe I should have held off, or maybe I should have just left it a pipe dream. But I didn't. So what can you do? And time to right my own ship. And yeah, so there. That's that story. Excuse me, sorry if I made a big slurpy sound there. So I'm looking at some notes here. Jotted down some notes because I didn't want to totally, completely just wing this. I wanted to have at least some topics that I kind of wanted to get out there in my opening podcast, in my opening episode 1. Where was I? Oh yeah. So another reason how I find it therapeutic was I was doing the video game. I have a handful on my YouTube channel. I kind of want to get that going as well. I know I've kind of been down this road before, where I was kind of like, hey, I'm going to do my channel again. This time, subscribe, and I'm going to be a regular scene in the gaming world. And then I got busy with my little fiasco, and I don't think I've put up a video there in like a couple of years. I have some music videos that I did. I recorded bands for a friend of mine for his channel. But at the time, I was kind of being the greedy artist. Like, that's my work. It's all mine. It's like, I know you asked me to do this for you and to put some video together and then give it to you, but I just couldn't release this work that I created. Yeah, I think about it now and like, oh yeah, he asked me for a favor and he had every right to what I said I was gonna do. I'm an asshole. so yeah, there's some of those videos up on YouTube. Some of my own band that I had a little band hobby going. I mean, it's one of those where I didn't expect it to go big, but I wanted to be part of a band and play bars here and there. What else? Oh yeah, and then I started Life is Strange and what is that? Thieves End, Uncharted. Started playing some of that on there, and then like I said, I stopped and just got too busy working on other things that I ended up not touching it again. So I lied because I made a video like, hey, I'm gonna redo my channel and it's gonna be regular and you're gonna enjoy it, and then I disappeared. So that's that. And then I go. And again, ever since my father passed, I've been going back and forth like for quite a while to my mom's, who's about an hour away. So I would listen to podcasts and I was just be driving, and it was, if they were talking about a topic that I enjoyed, which podcast of choice was the Nerdist podcast. They would have a lot of guests that I enjoyed, a lot of famous people, and now the cool thing about that podcast was he was very conversational. So I felt like I was maybe it was like I felt like I was sitting like behind a little bit, off to the side, and just kind of eavesdropping on the conversation, and and even people that I didn't like, or people that I just didn't think would be interesting, turned out to be the coolest and funniest and most interesting people. Like I had no idea. So that was it put kind of the bug in my ear a little bit. I'd love to do YouTube videos and podcasts. That would be just so amazing. If that was a way to make a little bit of income, not even a lot, I know there are some people out there that are just making an insane amount of money, like of course the big names making, they'll throw up a video and an hour later they have like 1 million views, and you get some change for that. So I'm not kind of in that vein. I'm kind of more of like, hey, if I get subscribers and this catches on, that would be cool. Or if I can make some extra grocery money to tide me over for, like, if I made grocery money like for a month or every month, doing this, that's worth it. I would be so on it. I mean, because it takes care of that bill. I mean, it's money that I didn't have, and if this takes care of like grocery or a couple of bills, hey, that's something off my plate, and this is taking care of it. Something that I enjoy doing, a hobby that I enjoy doing, is paying for my groceries. Where was I here? So yeah. I mean, I'm not looking to do any of that. So I'll throw in whatever. I'll research it a bit, see what it takes to make a little chunk of change, and see if that happens. So it's so easy to just kind of go off on some kind of tangent, cause this is my first time attempting some kind of podcast like talk. I was talking about the Nerdist. So yeah, he was kind of like an inspiration, and I've been driving an hour, and there'll be times where it's like, oh, I wish I was driving a little bit longer, because this is not quite done yet. I want to finish it off. And there's a point where I started from his podcast, like number 1, and just kind of listened to them all until I caught up. Another one that I found enjoyable was not a giant fan of his, but I'm a bigger fan than I was before. But Joe Rogan is another person, because that gave me hope and inspiration too, just because he didn't have a giant setup. If you look at his early YouTube videos of his podcast, they're like in his office, like in his home office, and you see all his junk in the back, and I think like his first one was like almost off like the camera off his computer. It seemed like, and then the next few ones were, like in his office and him, just like talking, and it was kind of like in his like living room, or even like in his office / living room, like over here. I mean, and as you progress along with his video, all of a sudden, he's got the fancier mic, and he's still in his office, and then now he's got practically his own studio, and it's like, hey, good for him. Like, that's where he started from, and he started off with like a nice little thing, and then it was kind of like I know a big part of his is like, his love of MMA, which is kind of fascinating. But he gets a lot of guests on his show, and he speaks his mind, and he talks about things, and and kind of like want to be almost in the middle there, kind of a little bit of Nerdist, a little bit of Joe Rogan, because like with the Nerdist, he's really friendly. He's really nice. He doesn't want to. Sorry, the host, Chris Hardwick. I have a bad habit of just doing that. I start talking about something and not having any context to it. So Chris Hardwick, it was the host of like the Nerdist, and yeah, it would just be conversational. It would be very nice. He'd try to just make people feel comfortable so that they would open up and talk one-on-one, or if he had other people in the studio with him, it'd be like this it'd be like people sitting around the table having a conversation, and a lot of times, probably the majority of the time, it would be a nice little interview, or a nice little just gab session. And Joe Rogan's he's a little more gruffer, and a little more aggressive, I guess, but not in a bad way. Not where he's like picking fights with people on the show. Not not like a shock jock kind of thing, but more of a you're having a conversation with like a relative on Thanksgiving, and you disagree on like politics or something, and you're just hashing it out. It's kind of like that. Oops. Who else? Oh yeah, I'm kind of combining like those are kind of like podcasts. Another person I'm kind of inspired by is like Angry Joe. He kind of speaks his mind. He tells it like it is. He does movie, TV reviews, video games, which I kind of want to do too. I kind of want my goal in this whole thing is one, just to be therapeutic and creative. Have my main topics be about movies, because I love movies, love TV, music. Of course, video games, of course. I kind of do want to have guests on. Start off with friends or that kind of thing, and just people that I know. And hopefully, if I can make it worth someone's while to interview someone, like if I can build up some kind of audience that I could actually have. That I could actually ask a stranger, like, hey, you just did this thing, and I'd like to interview you, and actually have them have an audience. I would love to do that too. But yeah, I would like to have guests on. I know that a lot of people probably don't think that they would have anything to talk about or be interviewed about. But the way I see it, people are a lot more interesting than they think. That people like myself, I think I'm just an ordinary guy, and I do the laundry and clean this and that, and take the dog out and pick up his poop and shit like that. So I feel like if someone said, "Hey, can I interview?" I'd be like, "Why?" but if you think back on your own life, it's like, well, hey, I was bike messenger when it was kind of an elite thing. I was part of a stunt crew, that I did it as a hobby while working with these professionals, in the business. That'll definitely come on later. I would love to have some of them on too. I did like the whole backpack thing in Europe and traveled around and did, and I'm like, okay, maybe I do have some interesting things to talk about, and I feel that maybe not everybody, but a good majority of people will have something interesting to talk about, or things that they think is just ordinary and plain is actually something quite fascinating that someone else might find fascinating. So I want to have people on and just have a conversation with them, and like I said, especially like friends, starting off with friends and kind of reconnecting with them, because life gets in the way and everybody kind of goes in their own direction, or you try to start a business and it fails and you just kind of try to right the ship, and you're just too busy or too focused on other things that you don't have time for friends. So yeah. So that's a good main thing that something that I would just love to do. And then like I said, and then eventually, who knows, maybe because I'm also doing a video of this. So if you're just listening to the audio, I'm also doing a video of this and kind of going down the Joe Rogan way, where I'm gonna try to see how I can get this on, like the iTunes and the other podcast, other ways to get podcasts, and see if I can get on there. But I'm also making a video so that I can put a video up, so you can kind of I guess connect the two. Kind of see video of me. I don't know why, because I'm not all that pretty. And then also gonna have my girl on here every so often, but we're also trying to start a channel for her. Excuse me. We're planning on starting a channel for her too as well. If you can see a lot of books behind me here, she is the book reader of the family, and we kind of want to do this book review / book versus movie review, or just talk or analyze, book versus movie kind of things. So we have nice conversations about them, and we were just like, hey, wouldn't this be kind of cool if we kind of did some kind of YouTube video and podcast on our reviews? And she's gonna go by the handle of One Honest Opinion. That's gonna be her channel, and her handle is gonna be Maz. So we're going to get that going. Let's start off. Looking down, checking my time here. Wow, talking can be kind of on the throat. It's like sorry, I'm coughing here. Throat's getting dry. I was like, how do people do this like all the time? So my goal is to, at least for me, get a podcast out maybe twice a week, minimum, at least once. But my goal is at least twice a week. So right now it is like Sunday. Maybe I hope to have something up by Tuesday, and then maybe do another podcast like on Thursday, and then have it up by Friday. So that's gonna kind of be my schedule. I'm thinking, like I'll do the podcast on, like I'll be talking to you like on a Sunday. You know, do what I gotta do with it. You know, mess around with it, and then put it up by like a Tuesday, and then a couple of days taking care of business. Do kind of like the talky part like on a Thursday. I'll have more time, and then like after Thursday night, and then put it up by like Friday. So that's kind of the goal of that. So yeah, I am hoping that this goes well. I am excited about it. I do want to continue getting back on track and doing more video game stuff and try to build that up. I did finish Life is Strange and Uncharted, Thieves End. I was like, fuck it, it's like I want to know how these end. I don't want to go through the process of pulling out the video cameras and things, so I am just gonna finish these games because I want to. So yeah, so hoping to start doing gameplays again, and yeah, we'll go from there. So again, welcome one and all. This is just kind of a 35-minute little intro podcast. Who I am. Make sure I hit all my points here. Looks like I did. Yeah, so I guess that's it. So yeah. Again, like I said, I'm trying to hit the 40-minute mark. I kind of want the podcast to be at least like 45 minutes to like an hour long. Longer if possible, but I want to keep it down the 45 minutes to like an hour, and because I think you can, it's just kind of a cheaper way to go. And again, hey, if I start making some bank here to kind of reinvest in some of this, then I think you could pay like podcast hosts and all that, servers and things like that, for like a little bit more time. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I hope you enjoy. I hope if you're driving in your car and or just listening on some headphones, that this is something you might enjoy, or that you're having a little conversation with me and you enjoy my soothing voice as I talk like this. And I'm doing what, ASMR or something. So yeah, I kind of want people to have that same kind of feel, like, oh hey, I'm having a conversation with this person. And I don't want to play it too safe, but I want to get into some meaty conversational stuff about not super big controversies, but like maybe a movie controversy or an actor controversy, or nothing too deep or political or religious or kind of thing, because people hate each other and fight over that. I will make comments about things like that, but yeah, you get into too deep of a conversation in religion and politics, and you just open up a can of worms. You just open up Pandora's box, and all hell breaks loose. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope to talk to everybody again. And yeah, this is Rack 113 signing off.